Alright, so here we are again. A slightly different setup this time. The camera's further back. My bed's back up there, my light's back here, and I've got a shitty camera this time. Well, not a shitty camera, but a camera that's not as good because my other camera is still not responding to me. But we'll get that sorted. I'll get that sorted as soon as I can. Right now, I've just got to put up with this. But yeah, welcome everybody to another episode of the... What is it? That was it. The indie game. Wow, I'm gonna do that again. Welcome back everybody to another episode of Indie Game News, and in this fuck, we're gonna be looking at indie games that are coming out over March. And I know this is currently halfway through March, but I've had some problems with uploading, and it means that this video is very late. So we're gonna be looking at games that have already come out, and games that will come out. There's stuff in front of the door, don't push it. The first game I wanted to look at is a game called The Long Reach. That has actually come out on this very day that I'm filming right now, because this is the 14th. So yeah, 14th of March, today. It's already out by the time you guys are seeing this this video. And, you know, it's kind of like a sci-fi survival, well, not survival horror, but I suppose in a way survival horror, but it's also an adventure game as well. It's a hybrid of genres that it covers here. But the one reason why I chose this game to talk about is because it kind of reminds me of Stranger Things. I think what makes it for me really kind of like Stranger Things is the art style. The art style of the game is it's very kind of fluorescent in a lot of areas. It gives that kind of 70s, 80s kind of feel that you kind of, you know, put with a lot of sci-fi horrors, I suppose, because that's when a lot of them are quite big. Obviously there's The Thing and Alien, sorry, like the two main ones that I can think of off the top of my head. From what I know about the narrative is what I found from the website. You play as a scientist called Shelley, and it says on the website her job title's longer, but that's not important right now. And I just found that really funny because it just reminds me of Airplane. But no, that's not important right now. Basically, the experiments that they were working on have gone haywire, and now they're hallucinating. And they're, what it says here, I'll read this out. The experience sharing program that we were studying went haywire. Maybe it's the black box, maybe something else. The main symptom for you is that your nightmares and dreams no longer require sleeping to manifest. These hallucinations are all in your subconscious. It turns out that given enough time with it, we go insane. But we can fix that. So that's the idea of the game. It kind of gives a bit of hope at the end. But yeah, that's basically what the narrative of the game is. You play as a scientist, something goes wrong, you start hallucinating shit, and you are trying to find a way to fix it. Simple as that. It's, like I said, it's not a difficult narrative to understand at all, but it is an interesting narrative, nonetheless. And as much as there are quite a lot of games like this out there, I always like games that kind of give a little bit of ambiguity about the narrative. It kind of, you don't really know much about what the hallucinations are. The idea that, you know, you could hallucinate anything, kind of, you know, and your worst nightmares, it kind of brings in, you know, it brings in your own kind of worst nightmares. You're kind of thinking, oh, 1 minute, I know what my worst nightmare is. It's more or less the gameplay and the art style that bring me to this game. Like I said, it's very fluorescent. Visually, you know, for an indie game, for a pixelated horror game, I think it looks exactly the way it should. You know, I think it's just done to a T, almost completely, in terms of what they want it to look like. It's beautiful. It genuinely is. I know it sounds weird saying that about a pixelated game, you know. I know it's weird saying that about a game that's pixelated, and then saying something like, you know, oh, you know, in Call of Duty, it's way too real, I don't like that kind of shit. But then you look at a horror game like this and think, that is fucking art. Now the next game that we're looking at is called Lightfall. Definitely gives a feel for Limbo, or In the Blind Forest, and kind of mashed together in a way. You know, it definitely kind of gives that feel, and, you know, everyone knows about Limbo, surely. All you guys know about Limbo. You know, being kind of a game changer in the way that visual gameplay works, and then obviously, or In the Blind Forest, more recently, being a visual spectacle of it all, and with the spectacular, fast-paced gameplay for platformers too. You know, it does give that kind of feel to it. Now, like Ori and the Blind Forest and like Limbo, this is a platformer puzzle, I imagine. I mean, that's the kind of feel that I get from it. That's the vibe that I get from it. But I get more of the way I get more of an Ori as a Blind Forest feel from this is more visually, I think. Really, it is visually stunning, visually beautiful. But I think the gameplay kind of looks more like Limbo in some ways, because it's more, doesn't seem to be as fast as Ori and the Blind Forest, but that's what I mean. It's like more thinking about what you're doing rather than fast-paced gameplay. But it is, at the end of the day, it's a typical platformer. The narrative is more about exploring a world called Numbra or something like that, and there's an imminent threat coming to this world. It's gonna kill. I don't know why I just suddenly got Jesus. Right, I need to calm down. There's an imminent threat coming to Numbra, and everyone's gonna die, basically, and you got to save everybody. So it's one of those narratives. It also says you got to rely on your shadow core to brave all the objects that come in your way. I imagine the shadow core is that little box that's following you around. I imagine that's what you interact with. So in a way, yeah, a lot like or in the Blind Forest, when you interact with I can't remember the little creature that follows you, I can't remember its name. But other games do that too, like in Summer and the Wisp, you rely on the Wisp to kind of guide you through. You got to, like in Summer and the Wisp, you got to stay alive because you just got to stay in the bubble of the Wisp. If you get outside of that, you lose health and you die. I don't know if this is like that, I don't think so, but I think you rely on the box, the shadow box, that you're with, that's with you to kind of get through the puzzles. It's been a while since I've seen a game like this come out. The last one that I really got into was Ori and the Blind Forest. Since then, I've not really got into these games. I kind of moved away because people just kept throwing them out there. They just, they're just like, oh my god, let's create as many games like this as possible. And it kind of got a bit boring after a while. It got repetitive. So, but this one has kind of stood out to me. I think it's mainly because of the narrative or just the way it looks. It's kind of, drawn me back into it, and I'm thinking, do you know what? I actually want to look at this. I want to look at this game again. I want to do this. It's something that has really kind of driven me back to it. So that's on my pick for this month's indie game news segment. I'm just not funny. I'm really not funny. Now the third game on the list is called ZeroNorthZeroWest. Although it's done in like that's what it's called, but it's done in like zero, and it's done in like degrees, and then I'll just stop talking because I can't really explain why. I don't know why. I'm just stupid. But it's like a visual adventure kind of thing. This, it's visual. It stimulates visually. It makes you feel like you're on drugs. Anyway, that's how I felt. It felt really trippy. There is a lot of flashing lights though. It does seem very neon and flashy. So if you are susceptible to that kind of stuff, then take a step back. But still, it's if you're not, then it's very visually interesting. I think there's a lot of symbolic imagery you can get out of this, which is one reason why I suppose that I was drawn towards it. I kind of like the symbolic imagery, and I like to watch these kind of games. I don't particularly like to play them so much because I'm not particularly into so much this, but I know a lot of people are. I know a lot of people like these things. I like to watch them. I don't like to play them. I like to watch them because they are interesting visually, and it can take you on adventures in their own, and a story that you can kind of, with the open narrative, let's just say that, it's like an open narrative. You can kind of create the narrative in your own mind. It's the way you interpret things. I quite like the fact it's called Zero North, Zero West, because it's like the coordinates for a journey in a way. I know that sounds really bad just saying that. It sounds really corny and shit, but I like that though. I like it. It's like a journey that you kind of take, and these are the coordinates for it. But that's what I imagine. That's what I think about when I think about this game. Is that the coordinates you take in this game, you go 0 degrees north, and then 0. Actually, that sounds really shit. I just realised because you don't really go very far at all. In fact, you don't go anywhere. Maybe that's oh my god, that's so meta. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe you just don't go anywhere in this game. Maybe that's what this means. Jesus, that is trippy, bro. That's meta. The final game I wanted to talk about is a game that I have been really excited for actually. I remember seeing a demo of this probably about a year ago now, and thinking this is the most ridiculous game ever. It's called Agony. You play as a martyr, basically traveling around hell, and you have special powers. You're like the only martyr in the whole game where you just travel around, you have special powers, you can manipulate and mind control demons. A martyr's someone who is being condemned for their religious beliefs. And so obviously you're a martyr, you've been condemned for your religious beliefs for whatever reason in your previous life, and you've been sent to hell. You have no recollection of your life in this game, I don't think. There's been quite a lot of release about the narrative of this game and the backstory. and I like that. It's quite good. I like the fact you don't really have any recollection of where you came from, or why the fuck you have powers. Maybe that's one reason why you need to where you go on a narrative and on a journey to find out more about find out more about your past and stuff like that. Maybe you find more about it as you go along. But at the same time, maybe not. I'm not entirely sure about what journey you're going to take in this game. But I like the fact that it's a very chaotic hell that you live in. The people around you in hell and you, you're trying to get away from the demons that just, you know, slaughter you if they ever fucking find you. I also know that, you know, you're a spirit, so you can take over any kind of body, but I think there's a certain time limit you can take over a body. But it is a massively fucked up game to look at. I mean, it is a survival horror game for sure. A survival horror game for sure that is just insane. If I remember right from the demo, there was one scene where a baby is killed or something like that. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. Don't go looking it up, because I just remember watching someone play the demo and someone was killed, a baby was killed, and I was just like, this is brutal and disgusting. But you know, it kind of takes everything to the next level, this game. It definitely takes it all to the next level in terms of brutality, which is kind of what you expect, really. If you go to hell, everything, you know, I'd imagine there is no chill there, quite literally, because it's all flames. You definitely get that feel for kind of vulnerability, because all these boundaries are kind of be broken down, you know, in this game, and you are helpless, in a way. The only thing that you can do is mind control the people around you and the demons around you, but I don't know how often you can do that in. There's the gameplay for the Martyr, which kind of shows you the beginning of the game, and it shows you playing as the Martyr, obviously, like that, and just taking you through, giving you like a feel for the world. And then it takes you through the demon trailer as well, which comes a bit later, which I imagine, you know, you can play as a demon, but I imagine that's because you control the demon from the Martyr. So you play as the Martyr, mind controlling the demon, and then you can play as the demon. And it just shows you fighting all sorts of weird creatures and slaughtering some random shit, and slaughtering people, innocent people. So yeah, I mean, the demon looks fun, I have to say. You know, if I get to slaughter innocents, I like death apparently. But it's, you know, it's stunning visually. It kind of gives you a very kind of claustrophobic feel, because whenever you go anywhere in hell, it's always kind of in a cave-like scenario, or in like a tunnel-like scenario, and you definitely get that claustrophobic feel. You know, you're always kind of in close proximity with another creature or something that's moving. At least that's what I got from it anyway, which is quite scary. You know, it makes you feel very uncomfortable in that way. So this game does a very good job of making you feel really uncomfortable and vulnerable in a lot of ways, which is, you know, I imagine that's what it wanted to do. So it does a very good job of that. That's it for this episode of Indie Game News, guys. That's another month, guys. It's another month. 2 episodes done now, and we got our what's Jesus? Right, it's March this month, isn't it? March. So next month will be April. April next month, guys. April. I'll try and get this episode out earlier. Hopefully we'll have a better camera next time. You know, I don't like releasing these episodes late, because it'll be like, you know, some games already come out, some games will be coming out. I like to release them early, so then you know about the games that will be coming out. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.